If you do not treat yourself with the love and respect and give yourself the treatment that you deserve, you will seek that validation and that treatment and that attention from other people. When you are short-sighted and desperate to be with someone, you will settle for anyone who kind of somewhat fits the mold of what it is that you're looking for in a partner. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin if you're new here, and on this channel we talk about building your dream closet and your dream life. We talk about all things fashion, beauty, femininity, travel, lifestyle, and just overall living the soft life. So if any of that sounds good to you, please go ahead and consider subscribing down below. I would love for you to join my ever-growing family here on YouTube, and please go ahead and consider following me over on my Instagram, which is at Caitlin Mahina. I share a lot more fashion related content and travel related content, like inspirational content, over on my Instagram. So if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and consider following me over there. Clearly this has become a routine. Mr. Pickles has joined me for this video. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I figured with Valentine's Day coming up just around the corner, I'm filming this on January 30th, so we're about 2 weeks away. I was planning on filming a different video that was more related to, you know, something else not super important, but I've been thinking a lot about love recently, and it's hard not to because it's just being bombarded all over my social media feed, and I'm sure your social media feeds as well. It's that time of the year when people really want us to start thinking about love and Valentine's Day. So in the spirit of, you know, this romantic season, I thought I would actually make a video having to do with love, and I wanted to make a video all about how to heal your relationship with love. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because I know that I am not alone in the fact that I have had a very up and down relationship with love, and it's only been up until this year, honestly, up until I turned 25, which I'm currently 25, that I realized that, you know what, there is so much more to life than relationships and being in a romantic relationship, because as amazing and incredible as love can be, it oftentimes can suck a lot. And so I kind of wanted to talk about how to heal your relationship with love. So let's talk about a couple of different parts of healing your relationship with love, whether that's, you know, you're in your single era and you're just trying to practice self-love, or you are single and you are looking to find someone to be in a relationship with, or if you are in a relationship that is kind of struggling a little bit. We will be talking about all those different topics. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about what it's like when you're in a happy relationship, because if you're in a happy, super fulfilling relationship, you're probably not having a hard time with your relationship with love. So let's go ahead and get into it. I just want to start right off the bat here and say that healing your relationship with love is an ongoing process. It's arguably something that you will be working on for your entire life. I'm not saying that this video is going to, you know, fully fix all your problems and fully heal you, but as someone who has been through quite a lot by the age of 25, the goal for this video is to point you in the right direction, to hopefully put you on the right track and start getting you to think about certain things that might be holding you back from truly experiencing deep romantic relationships with other people and from truly and fully loving yourself. So a quick background on me. I am a hopeless romantic. I love love, and I am, you know, spiritual, and I do believe in astrology, and I am a Pisces sun and a Cancer moon. So surprise, surprise, I am a romantic, emotional daydreamer. I am obsessed with love. I am 25 now, and I started having romantic relationships when I was 15. So over the past decade of my life, I have had a very tumultuous up and down relationship with love. I have been in many, many, many relationships and situationships. I'm talking like double digits relationships. I even was married at one point in time, which I did make a video about, just briefly describing, you know, what had happened and why I left my marriage, and so I will be linking that up above. But what I'm getting at here is this is why I feel qualified to talk about love and give solid advice on how to heal your relationship with yourself and put your best foot forward so that you are able to fully commit to loving, healthy relationships with other people. I'm very happy and grateful to say that I do not regret any of the partnerships that I have been in, or regret any of the decisions that I have made, you know, romantic decisions I've made in my life. But I do feel lucky to say that because I've had those relationships and those experiences, that I can give that advice onto other people. I am currently single. I did get divorced in the beginning of 2022, and I did have a boyfriend between when I got divorced and now. I am no longer with him, and so I honestly currently am healing from probably two of the biggest heartbreaks of my entire life, you know, losing that marriage and losing that relationship, which I really, really felt he was the guy for me. And the reason that I'm telling you guys this is because I really just wanted to, again, give you a frame of reference for where I'm coming from when I'm sharing these tips and this advice with you. I have decided to take at least a year off of dating and relationships in order to really work on myself and to present myself as the best version of myself and really feel whole and healed and complete on my own before I decide to get really vulnerable and share myself in a romantic relationship again, because as I said, it's just been non-stop for me for the last 10 years. So I'm intentionally hitting the pause button and working on myself. So as I talk about these tips in this video, know that I am not perfect and that I am also saying these things to remind myself and to apply them to my life. And I am currently enacting a lot of these tips and pieces of advice in my life right now. Okay, so the first category that I want to talk about is self-love. And when I talk about self-love has become such a buzzword lately. Self-love is not always easy. It is an ongoing relationship. The relationship that you have with yourself is one that you will have for the rest of your life. And when I talk about self-love, I'm not talking about like the cute little Pinterest-worthy buzz things like, you know, taking a bubble bath and watching a girly movie and treating yourself to chocolate and buying yourself pretty things. That can definitely be part of it, but if that's what you think self-love encompasses, if that's what you think self-love is, you are unfortunately wrong. What I have found self-love to be is taking the time to really sit with yourself and reflect on what it is that you want in life. What are your values? What are the things that you want to prioritize in your life? What are your goals? What is important to you? What are the things in your life that make you feel alive? Self-love is finding out what those things are that you want in your life and truly believing and knowing wholeheartedly that you deserve them and you absolutely can have them in your life. Self-love is not settling for anything less than what it is that you want in your life. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, I'm talking about what do you want in your career? What do you want your home to look like? What do you want to do with your time? How do you want to treat your body? Knowing these things and embracing them wholeheartedly and knowing that you deserve them wholeheartedly is self-love. If you do not treat yourself with the love and respect and give yourself the treatment that you deserve, you will seek that validation and that treatment and that attention from other people. This is inevitable. We are humans. On our hierarchy of needs, social love, social acceptance, these are things that, for better or for worse, most of us require in our lives in order to feel whole. So if you do not give that love to yourself, inevitably you will find other people to do it for you. Eventually you will probably become desperate and you will settle for partners that do not actually give you what it is that you want in your life and in your relationships. And this is why before you commit yourself to a relationship, as I'm doing now, it is incredibly important to prioritize yourself and to treat yourself the way that you think a romantic partner should be treating you. You need to have a healthy respect for yourself. So sometimes that means making hard decisions, like, you know, choosing to eat another slice of pizza when you know you're already stuffed and you're just doing it because you're sad, or choosing to fuel and nourish your body and love your body with whole, nutritious, and delicious foods. It can mean removing family or friends from your life that are toxic and that make you feel horrible about yourself, and choosing instead to bring people into your life or, you know, do it for yourself. Find relationships that bring joy and positivity. Once you have this foundation in your life of deciding what you want in your life, deciding the kind of treatment that you deserve for your life, and unapologetically settling for nothing less in your life, you have achieved self-love. You will start to speak to yourself differently. You will be more understanding and kinder to yourself. You will make choices that benefit you in the long term rather than short-term instant gratification choices that end up damaging your health and your well-being. You will start to unapologetically go after your dreams because you know that you deserve them and you love yourself so much that you're going to, you know, make the choices that you have to make in order to get those things that you want in your life. And you will do all these things instead of self-sabotaging, instead of talking down on yourself, instead of convincing yourself that you can settle for whatever situation it is that you find yourself in right now. Another part of self-love is having those practices and rituals and routines that really show yourself that you are important and that you are deserving of a special kind of treatment, a certain level of treatment. You can interpret that however you want. It can be, you know, buying yourself the dress that makes you feel gorgeous. It can be choosing to shop for whole foods instead of junk foods and garbage. It can be investing in a gym membership or gym clothes that make you actually want to work out. It can be choosing to say no to certain social plans because instead you know that you would rather spend that time and money investing into your dreams. Whatever the actual rituals are, whether it's a skincare routine, a spa routine, a pampering routine, maybe it is a day inside with a book and a cup of tea and a cozy, you know, setup and a movie. Whatever that looks like, make sure that you are treating yourself the way that any romantic partner that comes into your life should be treating you. Once you have this foundation of unapologetically caring for yourself and giving yourself the treatment that you deserve, then you can start looking for a romantic partner. The next set of circumstances that I want to talk about are if you are single and you are feeling healed and ready to put yourself out into the world and you are looking for a partner. This is how you heal yourself while looking for a partner that you deserve. First thing I need to tell you is you have to stop chasing men or chasing people or chasing women, whoever it is that you're attracted to and that you want to be in a romantic relationship. You have to stop chasing them. Chasing someone and choosing them out of desperation and because you have this desire to cling on to them and be a part of their life will lead you to making terrible decisions when it comes to love. When you are short-sighted and desperate to be with someone, you will settle for anyone who kind of somewhat fits the mold of what it is that you're looking for in a partner. Assuming that you have already done the work into practicing self-love and truly loving yourself, it is time to think about what you want in your partner. So my recommendation is to actually write down what it is that you are looking for in a partner. And I mean, it can be the smallest details. It could be maybe that they are also into the hobbies that you're into and list those specific hobbies. It can be that they have a close relationship with their family. It can be that they enjoy, you know, taking you out and treating you to nice things. It can be that they want to hike with you, like you're really into hiking, or they like cooking just like you do and you cook together. You need to become super clear on what it is that you want in a relationship and then settle for nothing less. So that way, the next time that, you know, you come across someone and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel a little bit of a spark here, you know, we're starting to feel some chemistry, you know, maybe I can start dating this person, and then you notice one of these qualities is not quite met with this person, you're much less inclined to like instantly romantically attach to them and latch onto this person. And I'm not saying, you know, the second that you spot something that you kind of don't like, run for the hills. That is not what I'm saying at all. But for example, you know, for myself personally, I have always had this narrative in my head that I have always wanted a hot, athletic, popular guy. That's kind of like the guys that I dated and, you know, had little flings with my whole life. You know, if they were muscly or tall or funny and like decently charismatic and, you know, genuinely just a nice person, you know, I'd be like, okay, great, yeah, sounds good, he's my guy. But then I realized as I got older that no, I need someone who is in tune with their emotions, who tells me how much they care about me, who tells me that, you know, they feel a certain way about me, who is openly communicative about their emotions and about what they're feeling. You know, I am feeling X, Y, and Z today because of these reasons, or whatever the case may be. I need someone like that in my life. And I always told myself this narrative that like, oh, well, guys aren't emotional, guys will never fulfill that need for me, you know, men are just different from women, a man will never ever show up for me in a relationship in that way, until I met my last boyfriend, who obviously we're not dating anymore, but he, you know, I'm grateful that I was in that relationship with him because he was the first man that I had ever been in a relationship with who openly talked about his emotions and wasn't afraid to show emotions, whether that was being upset, being happy, being, you know, reflective, whatever it was. And so I think there's this lie in society that tells us that, you know what, no one's ever gonna be 100% perfect for you, so just pick the next best thing. While I do believe that to an extent, that no one is gonna be like 100% perfect for you, I do believe that a lot of people settle for romantic partners that are like 60% perfect for them when they could be shooting for like 90%, because no one ever really gets super clear on what they want in a relationship. Like if you think about it, when was the last time that you actually sat down with yourself and thought to yourself, like, I need a partner who is into this and, you know, has this quality that they hold super near and dear to their heart, and also likes Quentin Tarantino movies, and who also, you know, all these different things, no one really sits down and actually does the work to, you know, really list out those things that they want. Because I feel like it's kind of like part of like human nature, maybe like part of a lie that society tells us, that's like, oh, this person's nice, we get along, yeah, our lifestyles are pretty similar, our hobbies are like mostly the same, yeah, screw it, let's just get married. And I feel like that's a trap that many people fall into, because I think that especially for women, we are also pushed this lie that we need to be married to someone or dating someone by a specific time frame, when in reality, I know so many people, whether it's like my parents' friends, my actual parents, you know, just people that are older than me, people that are coworkers, just people that I have in my circles of my life, where I've heard these incredible stories of them finding like their true loves at like, you know, mid-30s, 40s, 50s. And I think that is just so incredible and such a testament to the fact that you don't need to settle for someone in your 20s just because society tells you that you need to be in a relationship by the time that you're like 30. Once you become super clear on those qualities that you want in your partner, you will very quickly and easily stop yourself from giving too much time to the wrong person. And again, I'm not trying to, you know, demonize people and say like, oh, you know, you went on a date with a guy and he didn't open the car door for you, so nope, that's it, it's all over, you can't talk to him anymore. That's not what I'm trying to say. But if you notice like repeated, maybe on like the second date or the third date, like these things that you can just tell, okay, this person is truly not gonna be my match because they have completely opposite opinions or needs that I do on all these different things, then okay, hey, I'm sorry, before your feelings get too invested, before we get too invested in each other, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna let this one go so that we can both find someone that fits us better, is so much better than committing for something and sticking with someone for years and then realize you kind of wasted your time. It might hurt at first to let someone go who is close enough to what you think that you're looking for. And trust me, this is why my marriage ended. I, you know, kept telling myself, no, I'm gonna stick this out because, you know, we're pretty good, you know, everything's okay. And that is not what we deserve to have in this life. And so while initially, oh my gosh, it will hurt. You will, you know, cry, be miserable, be thinking about them, be missing them. Years down the line, or even for me, months down the line, I found myself, and you will find yourself to be so much happier once you have let go of someone that you have settled for. Actually, both of you will be happier because both of you are then open to find a partner that you will actually mesh with a lot better, because in the back of your mind, you know how that last relationship went, you know why it didn't work out. And so when the next person comes along, you have that additional, you know, lesson in your back pocket that when you meet someone else, you can be like, actually, because I just had that relationship of someone who was close enough, but I chose to move away from it, now I have an even better picture of who exactly it is that I'm looking for. Because trust me, if you settle for someone who's good enough and there's things about your relationship or things about them that frustrate you, spending more time with that person, especially as, you know, kids get involved or even dogs or pets get involved, those things that frustrate you won't just go away. They will actually get worse and compound over time, because in your mind you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm really in it with this person, I have a house with them, I have a family with them, like our families are super close. So just please do yourself the kindness of not settling for anything right off the bat. Like as soon as you realize, okay, this is actually not it, do yourself and your partner a kindness and just leave, because you will not satisfy each other and you'll probably resent each other more over time. The last sort of situation / category of people that I want to talk to is people who are in a relationship and who are struggling. And we have all been there. If that is you currently, I really am sorry. My heart goes out to you. Obviously, I have been through that based on the circumstances that I have described to you earlier in this video. It is a very difficult position to be in when you are in a relationship with someone and you have committed to them and you kind of want it to work, but you're not really sure because, oh my gosh, it is so hard right now. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. If you take away anything from this video, let it be this. So often in life, we are taught that good things require struggling in order to get them. We are taught that working hard and pushing through something leads to good outcomes. And that can be true in certain situations, like building a business, you know, having a dream body. However, when it comes to something like a romantic relationship, this should not be the case. You should not be struggling and crying and feeling miserable and desperate and angry and all of those awful emotions for the sake of a good relationship. If that is how you are feeling in your relationship, your relationship is effectively over. There are struggles in your life that are necessary and worthwhile, like the examples I mentioned before, or, you know, family emergencies, economic emergencies. Struggle should be something that is only a part of your life if it is an emergency or you are absolutely certain that it will pay off. As in, you know, building a business, like I said, like more masculine endeavors, not interpersonal relationships. If your interpersonal relationships are a absolute nightmare and a struggle, let them go. This can be for romantic relationships like we're talking about. It can be for friendships. It can be for family relationships. Unfortunately, everyone has had that in their life, most likely at some point, having to keep a family member at arm's length or cut them off entirely. However, if you are having this with your partner, it is over. It is done. And before you freak out at me, I know that even the most wonderful and perfect relationships can have their hard times. You know, maybe a stressful event comes up, like, you know, you're moving. Moving is super stressful. Maybe a partner unexpectedly loses a job. Maybe someone has a health crisis. There are things in life that will be difficult. But if just operating at your normal daily life, at your baseline, is a struggle, if it is difficult to communicate to your partner, if it is impossible for them to, you know, understand you or you to understand them, if you cannot move through just a regular day where nothing is happening, that's crazy. You know, no one is cheating, no one is, you know, spending all the money irresponsibly. There should not be struggle in your relationship. Before you lovingly decide to part ways with someone who is just not a match with you, because that is a kindness to both you and your future ex-partner, I would say, you know, do your best to work it out, communicate, talk to them. You know, having open communication, as cliche as it is the absolute basis for a healthy relationship. And when I say communicate to your partner, I'm not saying yelling at them, I'm not saying coming at them from a point of aggression. Ask your partner for a chance to sit down and talk about what's not working for them and for you. I'm not trying to make this all about you. Actually sit down. Hey, this bothers me. When you say this to me, it makes me feel like this, which is why I react in this way. What are your thoughts on this? You know, actually have a mature, as unemotional as possible, as someone who is incredibly emotional. This is very difficult for me. As unemotionally and, you know, sort of rationally as possible, sit down with your partner and talk. Maybe go to couples therapy. I've personally never been to couples therapy, but if that's something that you think will work for you guys, absolutely try it. I'm not just saying throw in the towel right away, but if you have tried these methods and nothing is working for you, do yourself a kindness, heal yourself by leaving this relationship. Yes, I know it is incredibly painful to leave a relationship. Trust me, I've just done it 2 different times within the last calendar year. It is so painful. But actually, you know, months or even years down the line, I promise you, you will feel so much better for leaving this relationship. And your ex-partner, whether you're still talking or not, will probably also feel some sense of relief that you are not constantly fighting each other every single day. 2 other helpful things that I want to briefly touch on when it comes to, you know, being in a relationship that is struggling is actually check out this book. It's called, I think it's called The 5 Love Languages. I read it recently. I read it actually after leaving my marriage, which, I mean, to be fair, it would not have saved my marriage. But ever since reading it, I thought it was super, super interesting, and it's all about how, you know, you can effectively communicate love to your partner and your partner communicate that they love you back to you, because there's all these different love languages. You know, I'm sure you've heard of them: physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and gift giving, I think, is number 5. And so if your relationship is just kind of having some basic issues of like, oh, you know, I don't really feel loved, or like, I feel like the romance or the chemistry and the, you know, physicality, whatever, has kind of fizzled out in your relationship, that is a great place to start. I would highly, highly recommend the book. I just got it on Amazon. It's relatively inexpensive from what I remember, like probably like less than 20 bucks. And it was really, really awesome, and I'm super looking forward to bringing those tools into my next relationship that I'm in. And the second thing that I want to talk about is actually investigate into the concepts of masculine and feminine energy in a relationship. I do not feel qualified enough to speak on this for myself, because this is something that I've only started learning about since leaving both of my relationships. I've only started learning about it since I've become single over these last couple of weeks. But as I've been doing more research on it, I've realized that I have had a very, very unbalanced relationship with masculine and feminine energy in the relationships that I've been in the past. typically I find myself becoming the more masculine dominant one in a relationship, and that is just not something that has ever led to a healthy relationship in my life. But seriously, if you are in a relationship and you kind of feel like the energies are off, like the balance is off, like something just doesn't quite feel right about your relationship dynamic, look into masculine and feminine energy in relationships. Just go ahead and type that in on YouTube, and there are tons of videos all about, you know, how to embrace your feminine or your masculine depending on, you know, which role it is that you want to fulfill in your relationship. It doesn't really depend on your gender, but kind of does. Just go ahead and look into it. Ever since I started learning about it, I am so excited to bring this knowledge into the next relationship that I'm in, and hopefully the next one will be healthy and beautiful and lovely, because I will have established that self-love with myself. I will have gotten very, very clear on what I need in a partnership, and I will settle for nothing less. So that is all I have to share with you in today's video. Please let me know down below if any of this rings true for you, or if you have any other experiences or, you know, advice or wisdom that you want to share. Just anything at all you want to talk to me about in the comments down below. I would love to speak with you there. If you liked the vibe on this channel or liked this video or are looking forward to seeing other videos from me, please consider subscribing down below. My family is growing very rapidly here on my YouTube channel. I am so grateful to each and every one of you that watches my YouTube videos, and feel free to follow me over on my Instagram, like I said, at Mahina. I do message you guys a lot over there, or you guys message me, and I love talking to you guys and just talking about, you know, more light topics like, you know, fashion and stuff like that. So like I said, follow me over there. And that's all I have for today. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day, whether you are with a partner or by yourself, just like I will be, and that's perfectly fine. And with that, I will see you on my next video. Bye!